Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel. And today we're going to be going back into Harbor Freight, and these are 5 things that I think you should consider purchasing at Harbor Freight. Once again, if you've seen the previous videos that I've posted just like this one, these aren't like my top 5 items. These are just 5 things that I think are good purchases to pick up at Harbor Freight, maybe over some other places. So I really hope you guys enjoy. If you guys haven't, check out the other videos that I've posted about 5 things at Harbor Freight that you should purchase. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts on these 5 items, and maybe something that you have picked up at Harbor Freight that you really enjoyed and thought was a good purchase, picking it up there over somewhere else. And if you guys haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Let's go ahead and get right into this. First up being this 6-piece set from Harbor Freight. It's the 6-piece mini pliers set. These are far from being like top of the line, far from being the best pliers or anything like that. But to have a mini set of pliers around is really handy. I use it a lot for small electrical work and things like that. That's why I keep it in this drawer. So you get a miniature pair of diagonal side cutters. They are not flush cuts. You get a miniature set of needle nose pliers, and this set runs $13. So this has a miniature cutter at the bottom, and then you do have some teeth in here as well. And they are all spring loaded here at the base, as you can tell. And they have a comfort grip, which isn't too bad. They're pretty comfortable. Keep in mind, this is a miniature set of pliers. These aren't meant for high leverage applications or anything like that. It's light duty work. You got a set of end nippers here. These are probably the least used out of all 6. Then you have a set of angled nose pliers, and these are flat jaws or smooth jaws, no teeth or anything like that. I do believe this is the only set that actually has some teeth in it. All the others, like these duckbills, these miniature duckbills, are just smooth jaws as well. And then the other pair that I don't use all that often is the long nose needle nose pliers. Once again, smooth jaws. So for $13, I think this is a good purchase. I use the needle nose, the diagonal side cutters, and the angled nose pliers the most out of all of them. But I think for $13, it's a good set. Once again, not for heavy duty use, but still a good set to have around for that light duty use. Next up is the lug nut socket set. So Harbor Freight actually has 2 different sets, a 7-piece set for $55 and an 11-piece set for $80. I picked this up when I was going to college, expecting to get into a shop, and I wanted to pick up the one that had more rather than less, just in case. And it turned out my first mechanic job after college, everything was supplied to me on the race team, so a lot of the stuff that I had purchased just came straight home. It does come with 2 extensions. I don't really use those. So this is basically just used here at home. If I would have known that, I would have probably just picked up the smaller set for $55, but either way, I'm happy to have it, especially I use it on the Camaro a lot with the Dark Star wheels. And what's nice about these is they're thin-walled, and they have a protective plastic sleeve on them to prevent you from scratching the wheels that you're working on. It's the one I use most, 13/16 or the 21. The 13/16 seems to fit my lug nuts a little bit better. So it's a nice thin wall, impact rated socket, and then it's got that plastic sleeve around it, chromoly. And the other nice thing is if your lug nut hole is extremely tight, you can remove these plastic sleeves. They just simply slide off of the socket. So if you need to get into a tight area, that is very handy as well. And then they just slide back on and they lock on. So overall, I think this is a good purchase. But if you only deal with a few cars maybe at home or anything like that, the smaller set is probably the better purchase. But this is the set I got, expecting to use it a lot more often. But still really handy to have, and I'm glad that I picked this set up. These sizes are going to be 3/4, 13/16, 7/8, 15/16, 1 inch, 17, 19, 21, and 1 1/16, and then you get a 3 6 inch extension. Next up is a seal driver. This is one that I believe I picked up at Harbor Freight, but this was many years ago, and I think they've changed the sets that they actually have. They have a 10-piece from Maddox for $40, and a set from Icon, which is a 16-piece for $100. This is just like the Maddox set, basically identical. You get 9 pieces and then the striking handle, and it's just very generic, nothing, super fancy about it, but I've used this thing a lot, no issues. The little billet aluminum pieces are machined just fine. They fit everything I've used them for, no issues like that, but it's super handy to have. I've installed a lot of seals and races just alone on the Camaro, as well as many other vehicles, and this thing is extremely handy. I think I paid like maybe $25 for it, but now remember, this was many years ago, almost 8 years ago, so this set isn't necessarily available anymore, but the Maddox set is the exact same thing for $40. Keep in mind, you can find sets like this on Amazon, but once again, it's something you take the chance of not getting your hands on or not seeing in person first before making a purchase, where this was nice because I was able to actually get my hands on it and see the quality and everything. And even for being extremely cheap, it has done a very good job. Next up are the long nose, long reach pliers from Harbor Freight. Now, they do have a lot of different ones available now. When I purchased these, there were only a couple different ones available, and I got these as a set. You can buy them individually as well. They have the Pittsburgh, which is going to be $6 each if you purchase them individually, or $10 as a set. And then they also have like Quinn for $15 a pair, and then the Icon is $25 a pair. I tell you what, I bought these not expecting much from them, didn't think I was going to get a whole lot of use out of them. I just got them just in case I needed them, and I actually ended up using these things way more than I thought, and they held up just fine. So you got a straight and an angled 45, and I bought a cheap, like, I don't know if it was a Nyko set or what, but like these Pittsburgh ones put those to shame. I actually ended up getting rid of those because they were so bad, but I've had very good experiences with these, and after I realized how much I used them, I went ahead and picked up the Knipex version of them just because I really enjoyed how much use I got out of them. So I wanted a good quality pair, but I still have no regrets with buying the Pittsburgh set for $10. I think that's a really good purchase as far as some long nose, long reach pliers. And then last up, as far as this video, is going to be the magnetic nut drivers set, and you can get this in metric and SAE, and I got the Warrior ones. They also now have Bauer and Hercules, and you can get them in this length as well as some longer versions as well. The Bauer is going to range from $10 to $15 depending on which set you get, and the Hercules is going to range from $11 to $16. These are both 9-piece sets, 9-piece for the SAE, 9-piece for the metric, and they're both $5 a set. So $10 for all of these, and I use these very often. These are very handy to have. I love that they're magnetic. I've only had an issue with one of the magnets. It was either this one or this one, where the magnet fell out and I just simply glued it back in place. Other than that, I haven't had any issues with any of the magnets falling out, and even if they did, the super glue seemed to have fixed that problem easily. I primarily use 8, 9, quarter inch, 5/16, half inch, 11/32. So I get some really good use out of them, and I use them pretty often, and they've held up very well. I love that they're impact rated. Really handy to have. I just toss it on my impact driver, and it's a lot faster to deal with using the impact driver and an impact rated nut driver than just a standard nut driver, and the magnetic feature is just a cherry on top with that. So that is definitely something that I think is worth the purchase, especially for $5. And then if you wanted to get the better quality ones, I don't have any experience with those, but you can get the better quality ones, I guess, from Quinn or Bauer or Hercules for slightly more. But then you also do have the option of this length or the longer version. So that's it as far as today's 5 things that I think you should pick up from Harbor Freight, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts on these 5 items, as well as maybe some items that you've had good experiences with. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing.